We'll run this story down the line for y'all to let y'all know how we came to be. I used to see you in the back of my mind. You was a vision of a woman I was looking to find. I spent years on the grind, never once could I see. We used to talk cordially, but never thought it could be. Cause I was caught up in the world trying to taste this cheese and thinking that making paper was legitimately the way a nigga should be. The fruit never fall off on the tree. My mama taught me I should never settle typically. I used to see you all in traffic, never knew of her name. I tried to get all in her brain just by running some games. To playing the same thing about spiritual cat with discipline of mind, focus on faith and the fact. I was determined just to get all in a physical frame and became infatuated as my heart was inflamed. I can't explain or restrain how these feelings remain just like freight train struck a good tracks in my brain. She never ever gave me action. My attraction for relaxing was exact, but her reaction was attractive from the practice. She would shake spots whenever I start plots and then come right back up on the block when I committed to stop. You see your beauty's like a ruby mine shining like a diamond. She the principal thing trying to get her, but she's declining, trying to say that if I change up my ways, I get some matches. So I'm gonna see what's happening, you know what I'm saying? All days I sit back and meditate into always and thoughts open dimension and always dwelling in your wisdom like the queen pristine and the principal thing. All days I sit back and meditate into always and thoughts open dimension and always dwelling in your royalty like the queen pristine and the principal thing. Yeah, she looks so good and so fine. Every minute in her presence is like infinite time. I'm like, yo, I knew this nigga that impacted looking back at how we acted. It's surprised he could crack for him. He's on a block of top notch intellectual. Scholar, I gotta holler, maybe get a number caller. Talk to a partner just to get the who's of the D. We conversated about how to proceed. He said the very true beginning of establishing bonds is the desire to be disciplined, shutting up, listening, temperance, prudence, virtuous deeds, burning out all of the malice and the lust and the greed. Giving heed is the assurance of correction of flaws. Because the character discipline is the keeping of laws. Now I'm jumping through a hoop, got me bending over backwards, back it up, immaculate, rewind it back in old days. I sit back and meditate in always and thoughts open dimension and always dwelling in your wisdom like the queen pristine and the principal thing. All days I sit back and meditate into always and thoughts open dimension and always dwelling in your royalty like the queen pristine and the principal thing. Yeah, it's been about 7 months now we've been round the clock. And she be coming to the spot, time to thicken the plot. She don't want sleeping on the cot, a nigga ain't got a lot. But I keep thinking in my mind I should give it a shot. So on my own I prepared with some fasting and prayer. I made sure the father wanted me there, cause now I'm scared of a wrong decision. Cause it's for life that I forget to mention marrying, and if it ain't right, could lead to hypertension. But if I just pass it on by, cause of my apprehension, will I miss on something that's right? And from the fourth dimension, think about my girl named Wisdom. Just one, now she's all up in my system, got me glistening, cause the thing that she's doing to me is the same thing she did to those before. She been with kings, she been with judges, her perfection was perfected, and her beauty was too glorious to ever be neglected. She's intellectual, so intelligent, spiritual, understanding, spirit, lovely, subtle, individual, never ever typical, critically plain, going through all understanding in the hearts of man, but nevertheless it manifested that the rest couldn't not pain, and so the most I gave it to me, now my flesh is too up. She's the best thing that ever came in my life. Wisdom, you the love of my life, and that's sweet, sweet brown sugar free and dream, baby. I'm all struck, all love from above, baby. I'm starstruck, God must kick up stardust, cause all love sends me adrenaline, blood rush. I'm all flush, nah, this is bigger than all lust. It's all trust plus such a spiritual bond, so harmonious. My life, my wife, we one flesh. I push trust spontaneously, bust when our palms touch your wisdom.
Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom to the to the fam in the house. Let me turn this down some. All right, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh Shai. It's your brother IQAhmath. I acquire first name. IQ is all the same. He reached it. We made it again. All praise to the Most High, man. Another blessed Shabbat. Shout out to the fam that's in the house. Um, I want to give a shout out to Brother Carlos. All praise to the Most High, brother. I'm glad that you are finding some knowledge, wisdom, and understanding found in that book written by my brother Ryan. And for those who have yet to get your copy, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for the bombs to drop? I mean, what are we waiting on? Support the good works of my good brother, man. Let me share my screen. After the Shabbat, of course. After the Shabbat, of course. If you have not ordered your copy of A Mind Well Instructed, please do so when the sun is down. There you go, right here. There you go, right there. If you haven't ordered the book yet, get your knowledge game up. It's been over a year now that it's been published and out there. So be sure to get your copy. Brother Carlos said he got it on the Kindle. Look, costs you less than a Big Mac to download it and to put it on your reading device, Kindle, you know, paperback. Get you one of those, lock it in, and increase your learning because that's what it's about. Song that was played earlier was inspired by Proverbs chapter 4 and the 7th verse. This is what we all need. The Lord said, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom in the book of Sirach. But here we see in Proverbs 4 and 7, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. That's a fact. That's what we all need to be doing. Slacky, let me stop sharing that one. Let me go ahead and get to the scripture that I was sharing. Hopefully everybody's doing well today, man. A lot going on the earth. Time of affliction, time of confusion within our nation, man, is at an all-time high. But we stay firm. Got to stay firm. Again, getting back to the scripture that I was sharing. Proverbs 4 and 7, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. That was the inspiration for that song by my brother IQAhmath. And again, this is what we all need, especially in the times right now. There's so much confusion, disinformation, misinformation, lies, knowledge, and understanding that's out there. Wisdom is going to help us discern and apply all things righteous. And it keeps us in the fear of the Lord. All right. I think I want the one of Sirach. Where's that one at? Sirach 1 and 16. It says, to fear the Lord is fullness of wisdom, and filleth men with her fruits. So wisdom is a real cold principle that we have to have. That's why the Lord said it's the principal thing. If you can master that principally, you're going to stay in the fear of the Lord, meaning what? You're going to keep the commandments. You're going to be in obedience to what the Most High wants of us. And we're going to be filled with all the fruits. What fruits? The fruits as to the fruits of the Spirit in Galatians 6. So that's what we're on over here. That's what we're on over here. Shout out to Bayan Shakal and your household, man. Shalom to you, brother. Shalom to you, brother Jackson. Shalom to you, my sister Rosemarie. Shalom to you, Karatazah. Shalom. Kohath. Shalom to you, my brother. The house of Byron in the house. Shout out to y'all. Shalom. Shabbat shalom to Ashar, man. Keep you in the prayers, my brother. Hit me when you touch down. Shalom in the quad. Aladah in the house. The house of Elkanah in the house. All praises. Brother Ayal in the house. All praises, man. Brother said he got it off of Amazon. Why don't you? If you haven't already, come get it. Come get it. Of course, after the Shabbat. After the Shabbat. Shout out to you, Ayal, man. Hopefully you will, my brother. For repentance, my sister said, excellent reading, full of wisdom, all praises. There you go. What has been endorsed, man, at the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. What else you need? Most I said, that's it. All right. So go do that. Go do that. What's good, Shalom? Shalom, man. All right. So You know what? Let's just get right to the business at hand, man. I wanted to play catch up on a couple of things. Been moving kind of fast of late, and I said I was going to get back to a couple of things, man. First of all, let me share something with y'all about your brother Esau and his beast wife. If you haven't seen this, let me get this loaded up real quick, man. Let me get this loaded up. If you haven't seen this, man, uh, again, I'm playing catch up. It's a couple of videos that I had neglected to play over the past couple of weeks, and I wanted to share this with you before we get to the real meat of the matter. All right, now look at this broad. Look at this. I'm gonna blow it up for you. I mean, we've seen all kind of defilements and profane acts done by Edomites, man. I mean, from them marrying their dogs. Of course, we know bestiality, all of the above. Look at this white woman, man, and they say this is how you're supposed to gain the trust of wolves. I mean, who wants to gain the trust of wolves? Who wants to keep that type of company except for a man of the field, a man of the world, the beastly nature, the so-called white man? Only them. And you can say, oh, that's just some crazy white girl. We all don't do that. You're the only ones who have the spirit within you that's willing to do those type of things, man. That's why the Most High called you a foolish nation. You're the only ones who are even willing to put your minds in those frames to even want to do this type of stuff. Before I even go,
what if he misses? Your bet could lose. Hold on. Only Proline gives 100%.
When wolves greet, they will want to lick inside your mouth. This is perfectly normal for them, and this is what they do to one another on a daily basis. If you can tolerate it.
I know it's early for some of y'all out here on the West Coast. It's what 11:15. Some of y'all might just be eating your lunch. I mean, eating breakfast. Some of y'all in the afternoon, you might be having your Sabbath lunch. I mean, put it all down right now. Put it down, because you might get sick. Put it down. You might get sick. Look at this. They're talking about this is the way that you gain the trust of wolves. Now watch this.
Wolves greet, they will want to lick inside your mouth. This is perfectly normal for them, and this is what they do to one another on a daily basis. If you can tolerate it, you should allow this, as they will trust you more and can learn everything about you as a person, which includes your body chemistry. If you are
now hold on. You see, this one comes up. Now you see his buddy's in the back. He goes and tests the waters.
If you are sick or well, what you have eaten, and also if you are.
Good Lord, man! Only Esau, man. It's an orgy, man. They want to run a train on it. I mean, I know it's not Friday Night Lights, man. Put the kids away if you need to. But this is wild.
They all run up on them, man. They all want to them. Body movements should be calm and fluid. Sharp movements will frighten and shock them, making you look threatening. So gently is the answer. This is why women are often more readily accepted by wolves than men, as men naturally exhibit heavier movement.
Now, Shalakia, I had this on mute. I meant to play the audio, but do I need to play the audio? I mean, the visual was enough. The visual was enough. I mean, this is the damn heathen for you, man. And we know the classic scriptures that we always love to run to when it comes down to the nature of Esau. Hebrews 12:16 says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. I mean, it doesn't take much for him to profane himself. It doesn't take much for him to commit acts of fornication, to go back into his beastly nature, man, and then start doing all kind of vile acts. Leviticus 18. And let's read 23. This is the element of fornication. It says, neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. And you say, well, that wasn't bestiality. I mean, you trying to tell me they didn't lay together? I mean, they didn't have sex. What? So you trying to tell me that it's okay to slob down and tongue kiss a dog, a wolf, or animal, and that's not considered an act of bestiality, that's not a sexual, romantic advance towards the opposite sex slash uh, carnivore beast. But if you don't knock it off, neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith, neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion. Did we not see nothing but confusion with that woman sitting there before the beast? I mean, if the cameras wasn't rolling, she may have laid down. They had a damn orgy with the broad, man. One runs up, slobbing her down. Next one, all of them coming over. And they're talking about this is how they're supposed to be gaining the trust of the wolves. And
when wolves
who
greet,
wants this?
they will want a lick inside your mouth. This is perfectly normal for them, and this is what they do to one another on a daily basis. If you can tolerate it, you should allow this, as they will trust you more and can learn.
If you can tolerate it, you should allow it. Only the so-called white man would promote some foolishness like that, man.
Everything about you as a person, which includes your body chemistry, if you are sick or well, what you have eaten, and also if you are kind and non-threatening to them. Body movements should be calm and fluid. Sharp movements will frighten and shock them, making you look threatening. So gently, gently is the answer. This is why women are often more readily accepted by wolves than men, as men naturally exhibit heavier movements, have a taller stature, and a deeper voice.
Now, why do you think the Most High broke down even further about a woman is not supposed to be involved in these things? You hear them. They just got to say, notice it says, neither shall a woman stand before a beast. That shows you that the propensity of the feminine spirit that comes within a woman is more enticing for a beast. That's why the Most High laid it down there and specifically said the woman shouldn't be involved in this. That's why she just said, typically the women are more accepted to do this than the men are. And I know you Israelite women, I know my sisters out there, my virtual sisters, y'all are out there turning your stomachs right now, looking at the screen like, what in the hell? I would never. Of course you wouldn't. But your counterpart, they're prone to do some foolishness like that, man. This is why the Most High, look, even Job said, Job, he says in chapter 30, verse 1, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, meaning younger, meaning less than, right? If the Most High established Israel as the choice seed of the earth, Deuteronomy 7 and 6, Deuteronomy 32, 7, so forth and so on, man. 1 Peter 2, 9, we are the cream of the crop. And guess what? Those that are younger than us, meaning those that are below us, i.e. the so-called white man and the rest of the nations, have us in derision. You got Negroes out here celebrating Thanksgiving, getting ready to do Christmas next, then New Year's. I mean, they about to have a whole free-for-all. They just got through taking off their damn Halloween costumes in complete derision. They're running around here, Black Lives Matter for Palestine, completely lost in derision, don't know what they're supporting, why are they doing it? So damn whipped with oppression that they think that they got to run to the cause of everybody. No. Yeah, they getting oppressed, but guess what? We ain't supposed to be running, jumping to their cause. We take note of it, we look and we see, and we document it as case history as far as the so-called white man and his propensity for domination, oppression, slavery, wickedness, evil, murder, rape, stolen lands, broken covenants. It only solidifies our case and what the Bible says about us as it pertains to our enemy. So as we see him do it to others, it's like, hey, we told y'all this is how he gets down. But you don't want to listen to us. Poor little Negroes and Hispanics, man. Y'all always crying. Oh, but when it happens to somebody else, it's world news. But now that they that are younger than me have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to set with the dogs of my flock. And Job said, man, these damn heathens got no right. They can't even sit with the dogs of my flock. Why? Because they may eat the food. They may start making sexual advances. They may try to actually turn the damn dogs against the owner. How do we know it's them? Because these are the same wicked men that were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. You know, when the so-called white man got banished to the caves, the so-called white man was not a real factor historically or as a world power until 333 BC under Alexander. Prior to that, he was subject to being in serving in the other armies of the other nations, living off in Mount Seir, in Petra, being utilized as mercenaries. Other than that, there was nothing. Verse 6, to dwell in the clefts of the valleys and the caves of the earth and in the rocks. Y'all seen the article I pulled out a couple weeks ago when they did the AI reanimation of the Neanderthal and what he would look like today, and he looked like that wrestler hacksaw Jim Duggan. The same ones who's coming out the clefts of the valleys and the caves, coming back. And the Lord said, "Man, you can't even trust them with your dogs, because we see what's happening. Don't think that's enough case history. Here goes another one. Look at this white woman. She's working at the vet. Did you see that? Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all might be like, man, IQ's going in on some discussing stuff early. Yeah, I'm waking y'all up. You up yet? You ready to ride? You awake? I hope so. Look at this. She is at either at the animal shelter or at the vet. She got the cat in her one hand, and here she is eating cat feces. Only the white woman. Look at her. Sneaking. Oh my God. Look at her. She sitting there and look, she acting like she just ate filet mignon. She backed up and said, mm, mm. Look at this. She got to look up to the heavens like, this is too good. Eating cat poop. All right. Y'all want some more? Okay. Bayan, you over there complaining, man. Guess what? I told you how to play catch up, man. These are just just some things I wanted to just make sure I got off my chest. If I had to see it, man, y'all got to see it with me. If I had to see it, y'all got to see it with me. You dig what I'm saying? Like, no. Um, let me see something. Deuteronomy 32:21. See, this is what happens, man, when you allow the heathen to have a little bit of freedom in here. It says, they have provoked me to jealousy with that which is not Yahweh. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. Did you see? This is what happens when the children of Israel fell away, got vain, neglected the Most High, became forward in our thoughts. The Most High said, okay, you've made me jealous. I'm going to make you jealous over that which are not a people. The Most High declared that the so-called white man is not even a people. And if you look at the Webster's Unabridged Encyclopedia, I can't remember the year it was published, but I got it. And you look up Caucasian Caucasoid. It tells you that they are a subhuman species of man. Subhuman. I've showed it before. Anybody want the receipts? Let me know. I'll pull it out. But they themselves, by definition, say that they are subhuman. And the Most High said, these are not a people, and I'll provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. I mean, this is what they're in control of the whole earth, man. And they out here stealing, eating poop out the damn cat cages, tonguing down wolves, and they're running the earth. One more. I made mention about this. You know, Will Smith has been on the hot seat regarding his relationship with what's the other brother name? Dwayne Martin. And I said I had a video I was going to show about this, man. I mean, you gotta really look and see what's going on. Watch this guy. And this what goes on in many of these Hollywood circles. And the people that are around are complicit when they see this type of activity go on. You have to be able to accept this type of activity in order to hang with these folks. Watch this. There's no sound. But you can see Will Smith fondling and touching all over Carlton. And I can't tell if that's his daughter or not. It doesn't look like it, but no, she looked like she might be a little older at the time for that to be his daughter. But brother over here with a damn kufi on, another brother in the back looking like he a fake roster, whatever, on the phone, and Will Smith is over here sexually harassing Carlton. Watch this. Look at that. And I'm gonna say this. I don't associate with the brother no more, but I know Dwayne Martin's brother used to be in our camp back in the day. So I've heard and gotten the inside scoop on Hollywood parties, what was going on in the household. So there's not a lot of it's not too far fetched. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Not too far fetched of what you hear about what's going on with the Smith household, and because they were best friends. They was best friends, right? They used to be around the house. Let me watch him one more time. Look at him. Grab his butt, grab his chest. Oh, play with his nose. Grab his chest again. Oh, now you're gonna go for the ball. See, all right. I tortured y'all enough. But I wanted y'all to see some of the things that goes on. And people wondering, oh, well, Will Smith's such a great actor, man. What's wrong with him? These are all lies. Why would they slander him like that? The reason why I'm bringing this type of stuff out, man, is because all hell is breaking loose in the earth. And the Most High is showing the truth in plain sight. Ecclesiastes 10:6 says, folly is set in great dignity. Do you see that? All the foolishness, man, these guys are set up in great dignity. Multi-million-dollar contracts, billion-dollar, generated movies, high, big social media accounts constantly being shown as being influencers all throughout the youth's minds and the up-and-coming teens and mid-generations. They're set in great dignity. When they set up all of these fake celebrities, man, and they set up all of these industry plants in the music industry from, we've talked about it, from the sisters that they put out there in front of our people's faces. They're to be the next generation of the so-called strong black woman, the woman who don't give a damn, the woman who's out there to get her quote-unquote bag. Oh, we're talking about, the sexually liberated woman, man, who's out here trying to defy the double standards. Oh, so you want to see the satanic nature and the satanic acts of Doja Cat. You want to see the little hood rat stank mentality of Cardi, what's her name? Yeah, Cardi B, but the other one, Sexy Red. Oh, you worried about Ice Spice? I mean, they throw out all it. What do all of these sisters have in common? All of them are scantily clad. All of them know how to shake their little cheeks around. All of them know how to speak and talk sexually explicit lyrics. All of them are embracing being ignorant. All of them are embracing um uh selling themselves for money to men. Vice versa. You've got all of these little ignorant Jakes running around here. I don't even know. There's so many little gremlin Jakes rapping now. It's incredible. And then when they get locked up like Young Thug, they all want to complain. It's just entertainment. Oh, I didn't mean all of that. Hold on. There's a RICO on me. But it was all good just a week ago when you was rapping about drugs and murder and lean and popping pills and riding by, sliding on your enemies. All that was all good. You was profiteering, making millions up off of it. You're funding the streets. You're giving your homies guns. You're giving them drugs. You're out here letting them commit wild acts of fornication in the clubs and strip clubs. All of that is cool for Young Thug and 21 Savage and uh Chris Brown, all these guys. I mean, Chris Brown, this goofy Jake, the other day, well, I don't know how long ago it was. I heard about the other day. They questioned him about being anti-Semitic because he was hanging with what's his name, Kanye West, and Kanye West is now being called anti-Semitic again because he said that he has sex with a Jewish woman. I mean, now you can. He didn't say it in those words, and I don't condone what Kanye said because he shouldn't be laying down with dogs anyway. But anyway, Kanye West, because of a lyric he said in his new song talking about how can he be anti-Semitic, he just effed a Jewish bee. And they said that's anti-Semitic. How dare you? A nigga said that he slept with one of our precious daughters of Zion, the white one. That's anti-Semitic. So black men, you should not be laying with white women, white Jewish women, because that's anti-Semitic. So come on back home. Come on back home and knock it off. They don't want you. Anyway, they asked Chris Brown about him being anti-Semitic. He said, I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm not pro-Palestine. I'm a Pyro. This is the ignorance that is set in great folly. I mean, this is set in great dignity. Folly being set in great dignity, and the rich sitting in a low place, meaning the rich, meaning the well-deserved, the ones who were actually, remember Revelation 2:9, I know thy works, thy poverty and tribulation, but thou art rich. He's talking about us. We're the ones who's being set in a low place. That's the Most High acknowledging to us who we are and who's above us. The foolish, the foolish. And our people is out there getting caught up in these traps. Let me just get back to the fundamentals. 1 Corinthians 6. That's why Will Smith is going to burn in the lake of fire, man, if he don't repent. I mean, it's ridiculous. And that's just what you see on camera. If he wasn't scared to do that on camera, I mean, you see what's going on with all of the sexual harassment cases between Puffy and Jamie Foxx and all of all of the folly starting to come out now. See, this is why people need to start idolizing these damn stars and trying to aspire to be like them, because all of they're doing is showing you the things that they had to sacrifice, the things that they're willing to do to be set in a high place, which bottom line is foolishness. 1 Corinthians 6:9 says, know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? Be not deceived. Neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, Will Smith, nor effeminate for the rest of these brothers out there that's doing this foolish, nor abusers of themselves with mankind. And Carlton over there giggling and I mean, let you know, man, this stuff been going on for a hot minute, man. Dwight Howard, all of these guys. Nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revelers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High. I mean, that's clear. That is clear. All right, so I tortured y'all enough with some of these things, man, but we got to show some of the ugly things that goes on. And, I'm always going to be down to get at, Esau, man, and his folly. So, you've seen it for yourselves, man. White women out here eating dog poop. I mean, tonguing down wolves. I mean, this how you know we in the last days, man. When you seeing all manner of evil, I mean, look. We know Yahweh Shai even says it's going to be as the days of Noah in Matthew 24. But what was going on during the time of Noah? Genesis 6:11 says the earth also was corrupt before the Most High. I mean, when you see this type of stuff, that's pure corruption. That's pure evil. That's pure wickedness. Bestiality being promoted. They said that if you're comfortable with it, you should do it. You should go out there and start tongue kissing and letting wolves shove their tongues down your mouth. And then start rubbing on them and embracing them. That's corrupt, man. When you see all of the vile acts that's going on between the LGBTQ plus HIV community, man, and that's being the head of Disney just came out. The woman came out and said, she didn't just come out, she said this maybe like 2 years ago. When she took over Disney, she said her objective is to make sure that all of the movies, films, TV moving forward has an LGBTQ plus representative or minority. I mean, hey, don't lump us in that group. First of all, we ain't the minority. The Lord said we're as the sands of the sea. But the narrative is, oh, you little niggas in fiction, whatever, y'all little people, man. We'll make sure that you're represented right on. And you be having the damn Hollywood combining both roles. We're gonna have a black gay. We're gonna have a Hispanic lesbian. I mean, they kill two birds with one stone in a lot of these films and stuff going on right now. I mean, you can't see a show, cartoon, whatever right now that doesn't have an influential eye that's watching you back, promoting that foolishness. So the corruption is real. They're getting ready to try to pull off a cyber attack. Look, you know, if it's in their power within the next year or so, that they plan on crippling the banking system so that they can bring in the new digital ID, so that they can bring in the new money system and all that other stuff. They need a new calamity to make sure that everybody buys in that it's necessary that change come in. So if that means, hey, you got your money in the bank, some of us gonna lose your money, you're gonna lose some stocks, you're gonna lose all that stuff. And they're gonna say, if you want it back, we need to identify you. If you want back onto your social media, we need to identify you. Here's the new system. And I've showed y'all before about the WEF, World ID system, and everything else that comes along with it. Just know that that's all coming down the pipeline. The earth was also corrupt before Yahweh, and the earth was filled with violence. We see all of that happening right now, man. From the wars, the tribulation, the corruption, it's all going down. All right. Let's get to the real meat and potatoes, man, before we get a couple more scriptures, man, before we get right. It's one of my favorite scriptures too, man. Proverbs 21:12 says, the righteous man will wisely consider the house of the wicked. So yeah, we're at the house of the wicked. We're at his doorstep right now, man. We peeking through the window. We trying to see what the hell he's got going on in there, man. Sirach 5:15 says, be not ignorant of any matter, small or great. So we don't play dumb over here. We don't play ignorant. Scriptures say, man, we're supposed to be occupied in prophecy. We're supposed to be trying to understand and know what's going on, decipher, utilizing wisdom and understanding to discern the times that we're in right now. That's what a righteous man should be doing. Righteous woman should be doing right now. Wisely considering the house of the wicked, man. We're right here in the belly of the beast. We're in the house. What's going on in the house? Yeah, we're held captive, man. We're in the damn basement with padlocks locked on. But we know something's going on upstairs. Something's going on outside. So we're looking to see what's happening, man. So, but continuing on, it says the righteous man wisely consider the house of the wicked, but the Most High overthroweth the wicked for their wickedness. So ultimately, the Most High will overthrow these people for all their wickedness, man. Let's get right to the case in point at hand. I mean, you know, there's so much going on. There's a few videos I want to play for y'all today. But let's start with the truth. Let's start with really what's going on. I mean, remember a few weeks ago, and some of y'all have done your own research, man, probably already are kind of hip to the game in knowing that there very well could be some ulterior motives as to why the Israelis are so hell bent on destroying Hamas, occupying fully Gaza, and taking over that whole region. You've heard stories about them wanting to build a new or the oil resources, and there's contracts that's already on the table. Billions of dollars are at stake right now, right? You've heard about them trying to build up a new dang, what was that? Not the I'm drawing a blank. My mind drew a blank. What's that white dude? It's the father of I know it's the Suez Canal, but it's another one. Man, Suez Canal. I forgot the Edomite's name, man. He's supposed to be the father of modern Israel or something like that, man. I remember covering the story a couple of weeks back. But they want to build a rival to the Suez Canal so they can have access to the ports. And that is billions of dollars in the making. So at the end all be all, we know that the love of money is the root of all evil. We know that following the money is going to lead us to all paths paved that the so-called white man done laid down. Case in point, as we see here, man, Israel knew Hamas attack planned more than a year ago. So if we're talking about you having knowledge that there's going to be, how many times have we heard about that just here in the States about all these so-called quote unquote terrorist attacks? Oh, what are they calling them? Hate, hate attacks or hate, whatever the case may be. They're always talking about how they were given a tip, just like the guy, man, that shot up the people over there in Vermont. And they said, well, he was already got locked up, was mentally detained for a couple of weeks. They already knew he had problems. Somebody told him ahead of time that he was planning on shooting some people up, and they just completely ignore it. And then they go let it happen. I mean, we hear about stories like that all the time. Some mass shooter goes off, oh, we got word before that he was going to do this, or we got word but didn't act on it. Why not? Is there a reason why you let these things happen? What's the motive behind it? I mean, I've talked about it 1,000,001 times. 9/11. That's the template when it comes down to false flag attacks and for them to usher in new ideologies, new laws, new statutes in order to create a basis of control for the people. So you got 9/11 kicks in. Oh, here comes the Patriot Act. Here comes the NSA gets funded. They start doing all the spying. Oh, here comes the Department of Homeland Security. Now they got changing up the rules and the laws about flying. I mean, all this stuff goes on, and it's all based upon issues of control. So Israel knew to the T, to the letter, exactly what they was going to do. They had the date, they had the method that they was going to do it with the what do you call them? I don't know why I'm drawing blanks today. What do you call them? Them little bikes with the damn parachutes on them. I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank today. I'm off my game. But they had everything. And they said they just ignored it. And they proudly said, Hamas doesn't want no problems with us. Look at it. Israeli officials obtained Hamas battle plan for the October 7 terrorist attacks more than a year before it happened. Documents, emails, and interviews show, but Israeli military and intelligence officials dismissed the plan as aspirational, considering it was too difficult for Hamas to carry out. See, that's why the Most High said, pride goeth before destruction. The Israeli army said, it's just big aspirations. They're all talk. There's no way that they can do that to us. We've got the Iron Dome. We've got them locked and sealed in this apartheid encampment. They're not gonna be able to do that. They said it's too hard for them to carry out. They had the date. They had it all lined up. And they just said, paraglider, the water Elkanah. They said, there's no way they can do that. Carry on with the big festival, man, on the Sabbath. Go ahead. The approximately 40-page document, which Israeli authorities named Jericho Wall, outlined point by point exactly the kind of devastation invasion that led to the deaths of about 1,200 people. The translated document, which was reviewed by the New York Times, did not set a date for the attack, but described a methodological assault designed to overwhelm the fortifications around the Gaza Strip. I read somewhere else that they did have the date, but that's a whole nother thing. Designed to overwhelm the fortifications around the Gaza Strip, take over Israeli cities, and storm key military bases, including division and headquarters. So if they had knowledge of it and they let it go down, what better way to have a false flag to provoke a war in order for them? That's why you keep hearing this whole Israel has the right to defend itself. What defend what? They are the aggressors at this point. They're the ones dropping bombs like crazy. They're the ones that everybody's saying, hold on, you're going overboard. Slow down, back up. You're doing too much. Now you're out there committing genocide. You're slaughtering innocent men, women, and children. And they're saying, well, if you don't agree with it, you're anti-Semitic. The stage has already been set. Because what are they saying? We need that oil. We want to build up this new canal. We're trying to get this money, and we've got America backing us. They feel unstoppable. Watch this. I'm only going to play some of this, but this video is 5 years ago, and there's current articles right now. Some of y'all may have known or may not, but did you know that Israel funded and helped create Hamas? Leave it to the public eye. Leave it to everybody. They're going to say, oh, this is just some terrorist group, man, that was drummed up out of nowhere in 1987 to fight against the Israelis that were been oppressing them. No, no, no. Watch this.
The Palestinian militant group Hamas has carried out brutal acts of terror against Israeli civilians, and Israeli and American leaders are always keen to tell us how dangerous and evil Hamas is.
The inhumanity of Hamas.
I have no sympathy for Hamas.
That keep shelling Israel with thousands of rockets and mortar shells.
What if I told you that Israel helped create Hamas?
Very similar to ISIS and bin Laden. You find the videos and you'll see Hillary Clinton saying that they helped fund and build the Mujahideen in the 80s to fight in the Cold War against the Russians in Afghanistan. So America helped build and fund ISIS, train them in the whole nine, and then flipped it and said, oh, these guys are terrorists who want to take away our freedoms. I mean, you create the Frankenstein. Deal with it. No different than what's going on here. Now we're starting to see how the so-called white man operates politically. They build up, they create enemy. I mean, it goes right back to the Hegelian dialectic, man. Problem, reaction, solution. That is the Hegelian dialectic, man. They will create a problem to incite a reaction, and then they come back and say, we're the saviors, we got the solution to the problem. They create these Frankenstein groups, man, and then sit back and utilize the media, utilize propaganda and everything else to sit back and say, those are the bad guys. Those are the guys. No different than they do to the Hebrew Israelites. They did not create us, but because we have the truth, they utilize the propaganda machines, the lies, and everything else to say those guys are the bad guys. Hey, we're the ones who's just trying to liberate our people, man, through knowledge, through wisdom, through understanding. They're against us cleaning up our streets and telling our brothers, man, put down the guns, put down the drugs, man, sober up, keep these laws, be a father, be a brother, be a leader in your community. They don't want that. Hey, sisters, get off that pole, dress modest, represent yourself well, take care of your kids, take care of your household, be submissive to your husband, be a helpmeet unto him, be a tower of death against a tower against death unto him. Help him build a legacy. Be there for your nation. Be there for your sisters. Teach elder sisters. Teach the younger women how to be right. They don't want that. Instead, oh, they're a hate group. Oh, those guys are out there propagating and saying that they're the true Jews. Ha ha ha. Oh, they're religious extremists. Oh no, don't listen to them. So they flip it all the time. But let's get back.
Officially, Hamas, which is the acronym for an Arabic phrase meaning Islamic Resistance Movement, was founded in 1987 at the start of the first Palestinian Intifada, or uprising, against the Israeli occupation. But its roots were planted much earlier. The Hamas founder, Sheikh Ahmed Yassin, was a half-blind, disabled Palestinian cleric and member of the Muslim Brotherhood. The Brotherhood had been repressed by the Egyptians in Gaza prior to 1967. But once the Israelis invaded and occupied the Strip, they didn't just turn
Did you hear that? Once the Israelis invaded and occupied the Strip. So who should have the right to defend themselves again?
Brotherhood. The Brotherhood had been repressed by the Egyptians in Gaza prior to 1967. But once the Israelis invaded and occupied the Strip, they didn't just turn a blind eye to these Islamists, they encouraged them. See, the Israelis, especially right-wing Israelis, wanted to undermine the power of the dominant Palestinian political force at that time, the nationalist PLO, at the heart of which was the secular Fatah party of Yasser Arafat, their bête noire.
بغصن الزيتون في يدي وببندقية الثائر في يدي.
By empowering Sheikh Yassin and the Muslim Brotherhood, Israeli leaders thought they could divide and rule the occupied Palestinians.
Did you hear that? So he said, in other words, they created and helped, well, not necessarily create, they helped fund and they helped back Hamas to be a opposition against their own brother, because they didn't want Yasser Arafat and his organization leading and running Palestine. So what they do, they create and fund an opposition party, just like they do in the Central America, South America, and they go and fund these rebels to create coups, to take over, and then they go in and they colonize and they pay off the leadership. I mean, ask Nicaragua how that goes down. Ask Venezuela how that happens. Colombia. Many of which always promoted. South of the Border is that documentary by Oliver Stone that deals with the colonization and the propaganda and everything else that the so-called white man uses through the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, and how they take over whole nations, input puppet leaders, utilize their influence to take over whole countries, funding rebels and funding wars so that they can create coups. They do it everywhere. South America, Central America, Africa, Arab countries, man, they control everything. When the so-called white man, the Bible says the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked man, he is in control and he utilizes every bit of manipulation, power, wealth, authority, weapons that he has. So he said they were used to be played off against each other. So isn't that something that the Most High hates? One that sows discord? See, this is why the Negroes, man, is running around here talking about free Palestine from the earth to the sea, Palestine gonna be free or whatever they saying. I mean, Negroes, sit down. You have no idea. What are they supporting and what are they into? Proverbs 6:16 says, these things doth Yahweh hates, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. I mean, they're on record saying, yeah, we're killing women, children, innocents are dying, civilians are dying, but hey, that's the cost of war. Who cares? Continuing on, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift to run into mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. I mean, the whole narrative is shattered by these scriptures alone. So he that soweth discord among brethren, that's the works of America and Israel. with the creation of Hamas.
Undermine the power of the dominant Palestinian political force at that time, the nationalist PLO, at the heart of which was the secular Fatah party of Yasser Arafat, their bête noire.
لقد جئتكم يا سيادة الرئيس بغصن الزيتون في يدي وببندقية الثائر في يدي.
By empowering Sheikh Yassin and the Muslim Brotherhood, Israeli leaders thought they could divide and rule the occupied Palestinians, play them off against each other, secular nationalists against religious Islamists. So in 1978, when Yassin wanted to officially register his Islamic Association, which was basically the precursor to Hamas, the Israelis were only too keen to help. Yassin built and grew a network of Islamist social institutions across Gaza, including schools and clubs and mosques, and Israel helped fund some of those projects. Most American politicians have no clue about any of this, although the former Republican Congressman Ron Paul once made this point on the floor of the House.
Hamas was encouraged and really started by Israel because they wanted Hamas to counteract Yasser Arafat.
Arafat himself told an Italian newspaper, quote, "Hamas is a creature of Israel." He even claimed that former Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin admitted as much to him, calling it a fatal error. Now, you might be wondering, why should I believe mad Ron Paul or the famously shady Yasser Arafat? Well, you don't have to. You can believe top Israeli and US officials who've basically owned up to all this. Brigadier Yitzhak Segev, for example, who was the Israeli military governor in Gaza, and later told the New York Times reporter that he helped finance the Islamic movement. "The Israeli government gave me a budget," he said, "and the military government gives to the mosques." Colonel David.
So I'm not going to play the whole thing. That was almost about 3 minutes. The whole thing is 6 minutes. The fact remains, what we're seeing and what we're understanding is all lies. There's a vast amount of lies that's going on out there, man. I mean, y'all know it. I'm just helping y'all prove it. Proverbs 1, and let's start verse 10. It says, "My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not." That's a principle of wisdom, right? We don't follow after sinners. We don't follow after wickedness. We don't follow after seductions of evil. But watch this. It says, "If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privately for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave and whole as those that go down into the pit." The Lord said, these are all things that we're witnessing from sinners and the wicked. These are the people who are saying that they are the children of the Lord. They're saying they're the chosen people, right? But they're doing everything antithesis of what the Lord instructed them to do. And they out there preying on and showing their true horns for the world to see. They're showing it for the world to see. Let's look at Psalm 62. Let's read 9 and 10. And this is why I say there's really no stance that Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans should be taking on this whole thing. Only thing we show is the truth. Only thing I'm showing is the truth. That's part of my name. Ahmath is truth in Hebrew, right? So my name being IQAhmath, the I represents the sight. Yaqar means precious. Ahmath is truth. So was the Most High put within my spirit is to see the precious truth. I have to acknowledge and see what the truth is. So if I see it and I know it, I'm putting it out there. That doesn't mean I'm standing behind Palestine because they over there getting ran down. Not too bad. Ain't fun being treated like the true children of Israel, is it? Yeah, but they ain't sitting out there protesting, marching, and helping us. They and their people was participating in our slavery and in our oppression with the Arab slave trade and the sub-Saharan slave trade. So yeah, no crocodile tears here. However, we build a truth case study to show you how wicked the GMO Revelation 2 and 9 persuasion people are and their backers. Their big daddy, the gray whore, Babylon, America. So look at this. Proverbs 62 and 9 says, "Surely men of a low degree are vanity." So the low degree are the heathen. The low degree are the Palestinians in this particular case. It says, and men of high degree are a lie. So the men of high degree, the Israelis and the so-called white man backed by slow Biden in America, they're out here propagating lies. So the men of a slow degree, that's vanity, because it ain't about liberating them. We're pro Israel, real Israel. Anything else is vanity. And the men of high degree are a lie. To be laid in the balance, they are altogether lighter than vanity. Meaning what? Both of them is nothing compared to us. Our struggle, our cursings, our justification for standing on the truth of the Lord, the laws and the commandments, the rights for us to have salvation. What they have right now, that's light. Continuing on, it says, trust not in oppression and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. So we don't trust in oppression. We're not supporting and going behind. Oh yeah, those Israel got the right to defend it. No, we ain't holding on to none of that foolishness, because we see really what goes on behind closed doors. Let's continue. Here we see him here. Hopes of renewing Israel-Hamas truce are dashed. See, people's out there. Oh, finally we got a ceasefire. Oh well, maybe this will be the finally we'll get peace and we can stop all this madness and we can bring some love into the world. Now, the only love that needs to be brought into the world is the commandments of the Lord. 2 John 6, St. John 14:15, so forth and so on, man. That's the only love that needs to be put in the earth right now. So all those who are sitting back saying, oh, you Israelites out there, doom and gloom, World War III wishers, guess what? we still are standing on that. Why? Because the hopes of renewing the Israel-Hamas truce are dashed after the terror group fails to produce a new list of hostages with 100 Palestinians killed today and warning 75,000 will die before the war ends. That's what's so crazy, man. They had the ceasefire for whatever it was, 6-7 days. And as soon as it's over, Israelis went straight to bombing again. 100 killed the day of the end of the truce. I mean, the white man is the cold beast, man. You would think in all reality, oh, the ceasefire means that maybe they're going to come to the table and have some sort of negotiations of talks, and maybe this will, slow down any of that. Negative. Not dealing with the white man. I mean, hey, he lives by the sword. Look at Psalm 64 says, hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword. Meaning what? He's got drawn swords coming out of his mouth, man. He knows nothing but destruction. He knows nothing when it comes down to true negotiations of peace. He don't want it. Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Bitter words. Watch this. So it says, the families of hostages still being held in Gaza on Friday said the end of the truce that saw 80 kidnapped Israelis freed was a very hard blow to bear. Notice they only, remember last week we talked, they only focus on the Israelis, man. Oh, the Filipino and the Thai, captives, man. You're low level, man. Nobody really cares about y'all. I bet you they ain't gonna take their asses back over there to Israel to vacation and hang out no more, or to go work. Now that you see, they don't got no love for you either. They only acting like the only captives that's over there is Israelis. Now look at the drawn sword. Look at the words. Israel vows Hamas will now take the mother of all thumpings. Now they out here talking big stuff. As punishment for failing to release all the kidnapped women, a week-long truce ends and Gaza bombardments resume. Constantly you seeing on the screens now, man, is that the Palestinians, mostly all of these civilians, running for their lives, carrying children in their hands, maimed. At what point in time is the defending of Israel? When did that stop, or has that stopped at all? When we heard Israel has the right to defend themselves, who's on the offensive again? I mean, the images that we see, they're the ones running who should be looking for defense. Soon as the truce is over, man, Israel goes on the attack, not on the defense. Israel this morning relaunched its brutal offensive. I thought they had the right to defend themselves. Oh, okay. on Hamas with a full force, firing a barrage of missiles and sending warplanes screaming over Gaza. A week-long ceasefire expired. Them bloodthirsty damn Israelis, man, could not wait to get some more, put some more bodies on the count. Israel plans to kill Hamas leaders around the world after the war. So they're saying it's not even over. Once they, quote unquote, destroy Hamas, man, they're on the move to kill everybody, all the leaders after that. Notice it said back in Psalm 64, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their arrows to shoot their arrows with bitter words. That's how they get down. They said you're going to get the mother of all thumpings. When this war is over, we still are going to travel around the world and hunt you down. Interesting. Tel Aviv, Israel's intelligence services are preparing to kill Hamas leaders around the world when the nation's war in the Gaza Strip winds down. So if the war is over with, man, what are they going on this global hunt to still kill off everybody else, any leaders that's left? Setting the stage for a years-long campaign to hunt down militants responsible for the October 7th massacres, Israeli officials said. I mean, right now, I think the balance of power, they over like 10,000 to like 1,200, 1,300 Israelis killed. I mean, you would think that that's fair. All right, you got 10,000 of ours. We only got less than 2,000 of yours, man. You damn near got 10,000 more or 8,000 more bodies than we did, man. Let's call it even and knock it off. No. They're going for the throw. Look at this. Chilling moment. Israeli women and children hostages are forced to wave goodbye. See, this is the foolishness that goes on, man. This makes no sense at all. You've got a negotiated ceasefire peace treaty. The Palestinians are cooperating by letting go these hostages. How could they still force these women to say, wave back to us, give us a hug before you leave? You would think after you getting released from your captors and the IDF is standing on the other side and they're waiting for you, that they would run away from you as fast as they could as soon as you got let go. They're shaking hands. They're saying shalom. They're giving hugs. They're saying thanks for everything. We'll see you later. Lord willing, this thing ends. But leave it to the propaganda headlines. Oh, they were being forced to wave. How the hell are you going to force somebody to wave when you already are liberated? I'm not waving back to you. I'm out of here. I'm not even might. I'll probably give you the finger if it was that bad. I'm giving you the finger, man. Come on, man. I might take one. See, this is the foolishness that goes on, man. They're saying that the Israeli women and children hostages, they were being forced to wave goodbye to Hamas kidnappers for propaganda. Propaganda for who? Is it really propaganda or is it the reverse? Is this article propaganda? With one terrorist ordering to keep waving as they are released. How are you going to force somebody to wave you after you've already got a negotiated peace treaty, ceasefire? You can go on about your way. You're going to wave? You're going to say, hey, thanks for everything, man. It's been fun? Or would you just run the hell away, man, and go over to where safety is and tell them F off? Unreal. You remember the last article, the last video I showed, and they was talking about, the terrifying video image of the babies and everything. What was they doing? Wrapping up the kids' feet, feeding them, drinking them, and taking care of them. The ominous moment Hamas gunmen seemingly growled. You remember their beasts. Keep waving as they handed over Israeli hostages to Red Cross workers this weekend has sparked outrage among Israeli officials who slammed the Palestinian group's propaganda. Footage released by official Hamas channels and circulated by Reuters showed how a group of hostages were led towards the Red Cross trucks to ferry them across the border and back to safety. I mean, come on, man. Y'all believe that? Watch this though. Let's see how the negotiated releases of the Palestinian prisoners are going.
The moment a mother finally sees her daughter for the first time.
Now remember, this ain't just Israeli prisoners being released. They're negotiating the releases of Palestinian prisoners too. But we're not hearing about that. It's just being sounded as if all of the hostages are all Israelis. But I digress.
Time after 8 years in an Israeli prison. The relief, the anguish.
Now, some of these are not based upon the war, but you've got political prisoners over there, and you've got people that's been locked up over there unjustly. This is what they were negotiating the releases of. This is one Israeli girl. She got locked up at 16. They said she tried to stab somebody. Nobody died. Nobody was injured. No nothing. She proclaimed her innocence. They locked her up for 10 years. They the family, and I'm just kind of give you a heads up because I'm not gonna play the whole video. The family had appealed, and they got a year knocked off of her sentence. So part of this war negotiations, the free, she was one of them with the ceasefire. She already served, I think they said 7 out of her 8 years, 7 out of the 9 years I think that she got. But let me finish playing this.
The utter joy. Melek Salman was part of the first wave of hostage prisoner exchange between Israel and Hamas.
It was painful because I was leaving the sisters I made inside prison, and I feel like my freedom was paid for with the blood of the 14,000 Gazans killed.
Melek then
14,000. I said 10,000. It's up to 14,000 now. I stand corrected.
16 was charged with an attempted stabbing of Israelis. Israeli authorities say no one was injured, and yet she was convicted of it.
Now, you see here, some released Palestinian prisoners had been tried and convicted. Others were held indefinitely without being charged or sentenced. So they've got some of these hostages that they're letting go, or some of these quote unquote prisoners they're letting go, are people that they just had locked up indefinitely with no charges, no sentences, no nothing, and been sitting in Israeli prisons for years with no rhyme, reason, cause, understanding, nothing.
Attempted murder and sentenced to 10 years. When her family appealed, it came down to 9. Melek served almost 8 of those 7 years, spending the remainder of her teenage years behind bars. Her family maintains her innocence. Fatina, Melek's mother, had dreamed of this day for years, to embrace her daughter, to share that joy with her community. She says this was denied.
The Israeli authorities were with us from 2 p.m. They surrounded the house and ripped down the decorations of any display of celebration. They stole the joy of my daughter's release.
Did you hear that? They said that, in other words, they made it law that if you publicly display joy for the release of these prisoners, they would say that you were a terrorist and you can get locked up. That's essentially what the whole law is that they enacted. So the Israeli prisoners come out, no problem. They leaving, waving, shaking hands, saying thanks for everything, whatever. Sorry had to come to this, all that other stuff, right? Shalom. They get released, everything's fine. Palestinians get released. They're told if you celebrate the release, we'll lock you up for being a terrorist and supporting terrorism. She just said when they got her done, the Israeli troops was already there. They ripped down all welcome home, any celebration. They ripped it all down and told them, if you celebrate this, we're going to lock your ass up.
To be released doesn't mean you are fully free. Israeli National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, who was himself found guilty in 2007 before he was a minister of incitement to racism against Arabs and supporting a terror organization. Ben-Gvir instructed Israeli forces to use an iron fist, preventing Palestinians from celebrating the release of their loved ones, saying the prisoners were terrorists.
Expressions of joy are support for terrorism. Celebrations of victory give strength to those same human scum, those Nazis. Policy here is very, very, very clear. Not to allow these expressions of joy, and resolutely strive to make contact and stop any support for these Nazis.
Another night, another scene of Israeli forces removing well-wishers and journalists at the home of a released Palestinian prisoner, taking a heavy-handed approach as ordered by their national security minister. In Bethlehem, in the occupied West Bank, they were able to defy Ben Gvir, celebrating the release of Fatma Shaheen and others from the city. Fatma left her.
So y'all can see the hypocrisy and the foolishness that's going on over there. But Israel has the right to defend themselves. They're being terrorized. I mean, Hamas, these wicked savages out there. I say this to say because now you see a preview of how and what they're going to do to us during Jacob's trouble and the times of the end. We're going to be labeled as the terrorists. We already are, right? This is why Yahweh said your kin is gonna what's that in Luke 21? Luke 21:16. It says, and ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. See, when they start leaning on you, talking about if you are in support of your son, daughter, your uncle, your father, that he's saying he's an Israelite, oh, he's saying he's in the truth, you're in support of that, we're going to hold you in contempt. We're going to put you to death if you don't give them up. If you don't deny and denounce everything that they stand for. This is why the scripture, Yahweh Shah was giving us fair warning. And then we visually see how these things play out in real time. What happens to a people that's locked up and oppressed? What happens to a people that's being occupied? So when they get the camps rolling out over here and throughout the world, I showed you all the FEMA regions. They got 10 of them already lined up over here. That they already got the America completely separated, divided into regions and camps to be occupied. Go against the grain. You know, 2nd Ezra 16, I think probably around 65 on down tells you about the tribulation that's going to be coming. They're going to try to feed you things offered to idols and the whole nine. You see what's happening to the people over there. They're going to change the whole narrative. This guy, they said he was locked up in 2007 for hate crimes against Arabs and supporting terrorism and all kind of stuff. Now he's calling the shots. So no celebrating victory, no celebrating the release of people who have been locked up for no reason, who knows what. What's the difference between somebody being locked up, no jury, no trial, no form of justice, but you just get locked away? Same thing that they have for these camps, but pretty much Gaza is a camp, and they're being policed and occupied. Get out of line. The police come in there, man. They shoot up dissidents, and then they say, "Oh, you was trying to incite terror." See, we're justified for killing. Oh, you was out there trying to teach the truth in the camp. You was reading your Bible. Oh, put him to death. This is the type of stuff that we see playing out in the future because they're already templating and giving a prototype of destruction right now. So I'm not going to play no more of that, but you see what they're doing. Look at this. This is a short one.
مروح من المدرسة مدرسة البكروت في وادي الجوز مروح مع خواته 3 بنات في موقف الباص كيف بينزل من الباص بينزل بده يشتري ساندويش بده يشتري ممتك اشي هاي زاكي بفوت على الدكان كيف بيطلع من الدكان وبده يلحق خواته بالطراد.
So notice that 8-year-old boy coming home from school with 3 sisters, minding his own business. You see him in the streets. You see the little circle. They followed him. He's running across the street. What was the issue? Israeli forces came into the occupied zone, said we're looking to arrest a man. Think about it. You're in the camp, occupied zone. Here come the UN forces, the U.S. forces. They come in and storm inside the camp. Oh, there's a man in here we're searching for. He's outlawed. He's out here teaching the word. Oh, we heard he's trying to wake people up, whatever. They come in full force, enter the occupied zone of the city because they're trying to find and arrest somebody, and then all hell breaks loose.
بياكل المطاطة في وجهه.
You see the gates? Look what the troops are coming through the gates. Oh, people have to go through these gates in and out to get in and out the city. Now they said the officer said that when they got there to make their arrest, they had to employ riot control measures because people was wilding out in the streets. Do you see that here? Did anybody see people all over the streets protesting, wilding out, coming against the police? No activity, normal street activity that day, moments before the shooting. And that's regular. This is regular. I've seen videos of them, man, stopping. I seen one video, man, Israeli police stopped this Palestinian cat, man. He was trying to walk. He came too close to the border. They told him, turn around, get back. You can't come this way. He turned around, man. The dude shot him in the I can't tell if it was in the back or the butt or whatever the case may be. Shot him with a rubber bullet just for fun. They start laughing. There's a woman, I don't even know her name, man, but I remember seeing a clip of Joe Rogan. He interviewed this white reporter. She went over there. She said she stayed in Gaza for 2 weeks, man. Blew her mind. She said everything she thought or was expecting was the exact opposite. She witnessed Israeli, officers, man, shooting Palestinians for fun with rubber bullets, man, laughing the whole nine. I mean, here you see, they lied and said that there was a riot going on as they were going to search for a man, end up shooting a kid in the eye, and now it's being investigated. You think they got reason to be mad? I wonder. Anyway, moving on. Let's see what your boy Slow Biden is up to. Slow Biden says, I'm sorry, I'm disappointed in myself. As he's out here pandering for sympathy and for votes now. So what's he do? Slow Biden secretly apologizes. Secretly, he don't want to do it publicly. Secretly apologizes to a group of Muslim Americans for casting excessive skepticism on the number of Palestinian deaths released by Gaza Hamas-run Ministry of Health. So Slow Biden said, man, 14,000, that's BS, man. Ain't no way you saying niggas died that many. Ain't many of y'all died that many. I don't believe that. I do believe how many that you guys killed on October 7th. I do believe that you guys are terrorists. I do believe that you guys are definitely out here acting like savages and just killing and beheading babies and everything else, even though I didn't see the pictures. He'll tell you what he does believe. But then when he gets busted and they say, man, hold on. We got 14,000 dead over here. And Slow Biden says, man, get out of here. That's a lie. Now he got to bow down. He had to go back and secretly apologize and say, I'm sorry. I seen the numbers. I seen the bodies. I seen the video. I was wrong. Well, are you going to go public with that Snow Biden? Genocide Joe? No. He won't do that. So this is the hypocrisy of the white man. Here he goes again. Slow Biden fumbling again. All right, let's continue. Mia Shem, aunt. Mia Shem was a Israeli hostage that finally got released. She had a video. Video her came out, said that, she said they were getting treated well and the whole nine, right? But look at this. She was operated on in Gaza by a veterinarian. Shem appeared in a video by Hamas early after October 7th, having just come out of surgery. Well, guess what? Maybe she wouldn't have to be operated on a veterinarian if they wasn't bombing, hospitals and killing civilians and doctors and all that. I mean, but at least they gave her medical attention. You would think they'd just let her die and just say, the hell with it, whatever. I mean, to me, that's still some sort of humanitarian act. But they're trying to make it seem like, I mean, how dare they? They had a veterinarian operate on, like they had access to full-blown medical care as hospitals are under fire. They're being shelled and bombed like crazy, and they're still trying to find time to go help this damn Edomite. Unbelievable. Hunger, solitary confinement, Gaza hostage conditions begin to emerge. See how they're trying to throw out this whole scenario? Poor nutrition, solitary confinement, details of how the hostages seized when Hamas attacked southern Israel have been treated in captivity are starting to emerge from under a veil of secrecy. Hunger, solitary confinement. Well, didn't the Israelis cut off all the supplies coming in? Weren't they the ones who said cut off all entry from Egypt? No more supplies. Cut off the food, cut off the water, cut off the power, cut off the internet. And they try to flip it to make it seem as though Hamas was starving out there. Man, the white man is a devil, boy. He is something else. They make it sound like, man, the Palestinians was out there eating steak and lobster and everything else, all in front of the damn Israeli hostages and starving them out with stale bread and water from Flint, Michigan. I mean, what? Nobody had access to damn food and hunger because the Israelis is the ones who cut off everything. Unreal. Just in case you're wondering, we're gonna move on from that one. And just in case you're wondering, it's confirmed. I've been saying it for a while now. Let's let the headline speak for himself. Ukraine is in trouble as it's running short on troops and prospects of success look dim. That thing is a wrap. That's why we ain't hearing too much anymore about that. They're focusing on the Israel Hamas situation, escalations between the Houthis in Yemen, Iran or Iran, however you want to pronounce it. Looking for escalation in the Middle East. Now on to the next war. The warmongering, daughter of Babylon, man, must continue on with warfare. So they pretty much are cutting off, resources to Ukraine. They pretty much saying, man, it's a wrap, man. We're gonna let Putin have what he wants over there because we gotta get prepared for bigger and better things. It's looking bad over there. I read one article, man. They said they was out recruiting women, begging women to come join the ranks. So as Russia's war in Ukraine approaches the 3-year mark, Ukraine is rapidly losing its well-trained infantry on the battlefront, and any chance of defeating Russia is dwindling. While Russian President Vladimir Putin is militarizing the Russian economy, replenishing its army, and producing more and more weapons, Ukraine is falling behind. So, that one is looking like that's a wrap. That's a wrap. So that civil war amongst each other, man, that NATO was backing, NATO is going to have to either swallow that humble pill and establish Russia as a world superpower in cahoots with China and the whole nine, man. And that's going to put them even more on the defensive to say, well, you know what? Who knows what's next? Because remember, they was already promoting saying that after Putin takes over Ukraine, he's coming to Europe. Same thing that Netanyahu's saying. If you let Hamas win, America, you're next. It's the same damn game plan. They all say the same thing because they all want America involved in the bigger world war. And the Most High is going to pull the strings to make that happen by hook or by crook. Let's continue. Missiles fired from Yemen towards a U.S. warship that responded to attack on a commercial tanker. So Yemen is still firing off at the warships in the U.S. So that's still, bubbling. As they're in support of Hamas, America's trying to creep up and be a defense mechanism for the Israelis. That's being stifled, right? Now watch this. Look at it. We're taking it out of hide. Pentagon says it has no money for Middle East buildup. America is broke. America is broke. This is why we have to be careful. This is why you got to be careful when you're hearing about the collapsing of the banks. You're seeing, I think gold just had hit an all-time high earlier this week. When gold is up and the dollar is down, the economy's down, it's a problem. Natural resources, natural elements, precious metals, when that exceeds what the economy presents, because guess what? You're going back to biblical money. You can read about gold and silver. You don't read about George Washington and Benjamin Franklin and greenbacks and rubles and all that. You get back to those things, that means, hey, we got to crash every damn thing, or we're going to have to manipulate the markets to make those precious metals go down, which, I'm pretty sure they're going to do. But once we see these things, America's saying we ain't got no money. We got to find a way how to get money. So does that mean, we're going to go ahead on and collapse banking systems, collapse the economy, commercial real estate markets? Who knows? But the thief is going to find a way to get and steal some money. They've got a temporary budget lined up until, I believe, January. And then they're going to need another new established budget to get some money in. They're probably just going to kick the can down the road until they get a new president. But who knows? Sirach 10:19 says, a feast is made for laughter and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. So if America don't have the money, they ain't got the answers. America is going broke, which means they're going to pull a power move on this economy to get money. So I put that out there as a forewarning. I don't know exactly what he's going to. I do know what he plans on, but what's going to be the event that stifles everything, slows everything back up? Will it be this new white lung plague that they got going on that was can put things back in perspective, back in the DVOC 91 days, if you know what I'm talking about, where businesses shut down, lockdowns, total control by the government. Everybody comes in economically. They're running the show, handing out little stipends of money called stimulus. We're seeing a massive amount of banks closures and failures. Slow Biden keeps running around. They're still talking about building back better. Cyber Polygon with all of the cyber attacks going on. Doesn't take one little switch of a button to make things disappear. And then they can come back and say, we can get it all back for you. But it's got to be done this way. Now get lined up and get ready. So America's acknowledging we're broke. We can't afford this war, a Middle East war right now. That means that they're going to move in acts of desperation. What that could be, who knows? War makes money, right? But we're in the house of the thief, so he's not afraid to steal. The Defense Department has ordered an additional aircraft carrier strike group at air defenses, fighter jets, and hundreds of troops to the Middle East since the surprise terrorist attacks on October 7 in an effort to prevent conflict from spiraling into a regional war. The problem, congressional dysfunction, means the Pentagon has no money to pay for the buildup. See, they can't authorize, they can't get a budget approved so they can print up some more money If they print up more, that means the value of your dollar, my dollar, goes down. It's like monopoly money. You print money out of thin air. What makes the money in my pocket or your pocket more valuable? Nothing. Because they can make it like that. Can you do the same thing with gold? Can you do the same thing with silver? No. I mean, you said, well, crypto, whatever. Okay, that's cool too. But again, press of the button, you can lose it all. I mean, how many times you got, what's the name? Sam Bankman-Fried. He's a prime example. Stole billions of dollars from people out of crypto markets, man. People left out. All them celebrities and all them cats is out of multi-millions of dollars. Got robbed. So what's safe? Only security and safety is in his word. And our fear of the Lord and the keeping of the commandments, man. That's it. Everything else is superficial, temporary, waiting for the impending doom. It says the military, like the rest of the federal government, is operating under a temporary funding measure that freezes spending at the previous year's levels. And because the Middle East troop movements weren't planned, the Pentagon has had to pull money from existing operations and maintenance accounts. DoD spokesperson Chris Sherwood said President Joe Biden signed a stopgap measure this month to keep the government open until lawmakers can agree on a full year spending bill. So America's going broke, man. What's next? U.S. Air Force Osprey crashes off of Japan during a training, killing at least one of the 8 on board. Last week, you seen the plane ran off the runway off the ship and crashed into the water. Now they crashing off the coast of Japan. You're constantly hearing about helicopters faltering and falling out the damn sky. America's in a lot of trouble, man. The mystique of them being this great big old military, man, they're operating off a past reputation. That's why you see the shine and the glimmer and the fear of America is starting to slowly wane. And the nations are rising up, as the scriptures say that they will do. In Revelation 17, I think in verse 16, which says that the 10 horns are going to hate the whore. Obadiah says those that were in confederate with him are going to come against him. See, the luster of America is running dry, man. They crashing they military vehicles, man. They're going broke. They're being openly defied by the nations. When before, everybody should fall in line, man. Speak of the word. They're gonna do it. I attribute that much to slow Biden. Ain't nobody fearing slow Biden, man. That's why I said, man, re-elect slow Biden for 2024. Let's escalate this thing. It's gonna go down way faster. But he's already propositioning what's his name? Governor Newsom over here, Gavin Newsom, petitioning for him to take over. So slow Biden basically saying, if I win, I'm gonna hand the baton off to you, man, to slide off into the sunset. And that's why you see him being propagated up to be the next voice, as he just had that debate with Ron DeSantis the other day and got embarrassed. He got washed up by Ron DeSantis, and Ron DeSantis was doing bad. So now they're propping him up because he won that debate. I mean, Gavin Newsom was telling all kind of lies, and all the media was like, "Man, this guy's just openly lying, man. But what's wrong with him? He wasn't ready to debate, man. He went out there and tried to play the politician role. As the old saying goes, man, how do you know he's a politician?" He said, when he opens his mouth, because they lie. He got washed up, man. So it ain't looking good for him and slow Biden. So America's luster is waning big time. North Korea claims spy satellite took photos of the White House. North Korea is like the epitome of clout chasers, man. Everything going on the earth, man, they always do something to try to draw some attention to themselves. So North Korea, they got a satellite up there. They took a picture, supposedly, of the White House, basically saying, like, we got our eyes on you. And, we can hit you if we want to. So North Korea is out clout chasing, man, hitting the Pentagon, letting it be known we're taking pictures of you from our satellites. We're watching you. So now you got to watch for North Korea too. America's got a whole lot on their plate. Now on to the next thing. Before we begin this, you know how this goes. I'm gonna have to be careful with this, because you know this is gonna be the next thing that they're gonna use to shut individuals up. If you saying anything about this new thing is coming out. But remember, Bill Gates said the next one's gonna really get their attention. I've talked about saying we got Disease X on deck. They got a plethora of things from Marburg to airborne Ebola to, they got all kind of things at their disposal. Now we're seeing a new thing popping up. Remember, they try to hit us with the new wave is coming back in the summer. You better get poked up. Mass is coming back. The whole nine. People was like, we ain't taking it. We ain't with it. They ain't happening. So they fell back. Damn. And we can't get them the same way we did the first time. We got to put out something out there, man. It's really going to get their attention. So Micah 2 says, woe to them that devise iniquity. They're devising it. They're coming up with new ways of iniquity. And work evil upon their beds, and in the morning is light. They practice it because it's in the power of their hands to do it. I mean, look, this is the type of things that they're drumming up. They say, they said no to that. Well, we'll come up with a whole nother thing. Don't worry. They're going to eventually submit. Psalm 37:12 says, the wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. So the plots are constantly going. They're gnashing upon him with the teeth. What are they doing? They're constantly going on the news, TV, headlines, propaganda, gnashing and saying, look, this is coming to get you. This is going to happen. You're going to have to make sure that you buy and invest in your health. And, insurance companies are out there charging more money because here comes your premiums is going to go up because a new thing is about to develop. There's no protection. Make sure you get the mask, gloves, everything. This is the next way how they get everybody to be submissive. We got to fall in line. If they ain't gonna do it by force, we're going to do it based upon full blown fear and submission. So I'm sure nobody's surprised, but here we go. And who's always the culprit of where it always comes from? Moab, China, as Trump says. It came from China. China pneumonia warning. Taiwan urges citizens to avoid travel as virus case spikes where? In the U.S. Just a week or so ago, it was only in China. Now it's already in Europe. It's already in the U.S., right? Taiwan has warned vulnerable citizens not to travel to China due to respiratory illness amid a surge in pneumonia cases. Other countries, including the U.S., also have seen a spike. Remember these images? Here it is back again. This is not from the 3 years ago when the DVOC scare was moving. This is November 27, 2023. China. There that word again, trauma returns as hazmat workers disinfect the streets. Remember this? It's starting all over again. Here we go. Get ready, y'all. Look, child pneumonia. Notice, why is it going to get everybody's attention? Because it's hitting the children. Remember the first time it was the elderly. Everybody loves the elderly, man. Grandma, Auntie Irene, all of them. We got to watch out for them, man. They and the old folks. We can't let them get sick. Then it just slowly dissipated into everybody. Then it said, the chip. Remember earlier they said, the kids, they're well protected. They can't get it. In your teens and the teens and under are less likely to get the last scamdemic and the last virus than the elderly. And then that whole narrative changed. Now it's getting the kids. We got to vaccinate. Oops. We got to, make sure that they're treated in their arms up to 6 months old. Nobody's safe from it. Now they reverse engineered and it's just going the other way around. It's hitting the children first, then it's going to expand up to the elderly, then everybody else in the middle. Same scenario, different, different play. Child pneumonia cases surge in Europe as fears rise over the outbreak in China. Sound familiar? Then it started in China, then it went to Europe, then it made its way to the shores of the U.S., but now it just happened more rapidly. Before it was, it took a month or two before it got over here. Now it's a week or two. See, they're accelerating and moving the plan a heck of a lot faster now. I covered the story. I can't find it. I got to find that article again. I forgot which DSM it was, but I had the article where it said that China was working on, it was either 7 or 8 new viruses in their labs. We seen over here that they found that undisclosed lab in, I believe it was close to Fresno out here. And they had all kind of viruses drummed up in there. And the only reason why they got caught is because they had a damn water hose coming out the wall, and that was against building code. Found out that was an underground Chinese lab. Just as everything's, coming, everything's coming unglued regarding the last pandemic, and now we're seeing all of the results coming from people that, got treated, followed protocol. You're seeing all the deaths rise up, everything else, man. People's getting more woke. People are refusing to get hit up in the arms anymore and all that. Now they say, well, oh, really? Well, guess what? We got a new thing coming around the corner, and this one ain't like the other one. So don't think it's the same. This is a whole new thing. You might want to listen to us and make sure you get treated. It's just the beginning. This may not be as big as they're making it seem. Who knows? But again, as Sirach 5:15 says, be not ignorant of any matter, small or great. We're not going to let this one slide because we know that as soon as you do, they're going to mess around and turn a mountain into a molehill. The Netherlands is experiencing a bizarre uptick in pneumonia cases among children, marking the second country to report an outbreak of this type this week. The Netherlands Institute for Health Services Research, a research institute in Utrecht, around 25 miles south of Amsterdam, reports that 80 of every 100,000 children between ages 5 and 14 came down with pneumonia last week. How ironic. This is the largest outbreak in pneumonia Nivelle has recorded in recent years. At the peak of 2022 flu season, when pneumonia cases were most common, there were 60 recorded cases for every 100,000. So this is 2022 flu season. The COVID was still around, and they're saying that this new thing is worse than that. 80 for every 100,000, and that's just within this last week. Compared to 60 for the whole 2022 season, where flu and everything else was involved. So when what's his name? Fauci and Bill Gates and all them were saying the next one's going to get their attention, the next one's going to be the big one, blah, blah, blah. They wasn't lying. Look, WHO demands fresh data from China amid the outbreak of white lung syndrome as Chinese are told to wear masks and social distance again in chilling echo of the CO, See that? White lung syndrome. Now the WHO, they want the data from China. Hey, what's going on over there? What's the numbers looking like? Why are you telling everybody to social distance and mask up again? China's saying, hey, this is not a new variant. This is something new we've been working on. We'll give you the numbers later, and then you can, utilize it and get your people in order. Look, now Massachusetts says it's being hit by a wave of pneumonia in children as Ohio County issues, quote, white lung warning after China and Europe saw a surge in cases and hospitalizations. Wow. How fast did that happen? China, the Netherlands, other countries in Europe. Now it's already over here. Ohio, Massachusetts. The white lung syndrome is out. You know what's next. Oh, UK detects its first human case of swine flu. They letting that out too now. You got white lung on one side. Now swine flu's coming out. They getting ready to bombard 2024 election year. Letting out of two new virus strains. War. Economic disparity. You name it. It's all on the table. Look, we're concerned. The illnesses are severe. Nationwide salmonella outbreak caused by pre-cut fruit sparks fear at the CDC with 2 dead and 61 hospitalized. They got a salmonella outbreak. For those of my peoples that's out there that buy cut fruit, I'm one. I like to buy cut fruit. Not anymore, not for a while. I'm falling back on that. Because there's a salmonella outbreak with pre-cut fruit. You get the pre-cut, melons and pineapple and watermelon, all that stuff. It's not looking good right now, y'all. So those that are involved in those things, watch it. Watch it. Meanwhile, China's planning to mass produce humanoid robots in 2 years. Here's how experts think the tech will change the world by 2035. So China's moving on. You see, you can see some videos online. They've already got robots serving in restaurants. I mean, humanoid ones. So you worried about the Terminator? You know why they need these things? Because they're getting ready to kill off some of their people with these bugs coming around. And guess who's taking the place? AI and the tech is going to replace anybody who doesn't want to work, anybody who doesn't want to fill the gaps. They ain't worried about Negroes and all you're striking all that. They like cool. We just need to get to 2025 and beyond, where the robots will replace you. Matter of fact, we're not even going to need you around anymore anyway. You're going to go to smart cities with a universal basic income. And you're going to be good little slaves or whatnot, man. If you don't do as you're told, man, you will be replaced. We'll take care of you. We're going to get rid of you. And that's how they're working. So just off of that strength, just passing that along, China's working on humanoid robots. Robots AI, they trying to do that as the next wave to replace humans. All right, we should understand that. Look at this. There's more important here. 64 U.S. bank branches filed a shutdown in a single week. 64 bank branches. Have you ever seen all these bank closures and financial disparity amongst these banks ever in your life? I mean, they're talking about in 1 year. You thought the big ones were happening earlier this year, man. The Silicon Valley banks up there, man. Yeah, they closed down. They was all jacked up, filed bankruptcy, got taken over by bigger banks. Now the bigger banks are even having their own smaller branches closing down. Why are they doing this? Because they have to usher in the new economy. They want to make sure that this CBDC, central bank digital currency, rolls out. You got the Fed Now payments, the digital payment system rolling out as of July of this year. You've got the WEF with their World ID digital system. Everything locked into this digital system, from your healthcare to your way you pay your taxes to your internet access, the whole nine. I showed y'all the graph of it. I'll go back over it in more detail in the near future. But banks are closing. That means more unemployment. That means that there's more skepticism with the economy. It's a lot of problems going on out here. That's the bottom line. JP Morgan, hold on. Between November 12th and 18th, several banks filed to close branch locations, with PNC Bank with the most filings, according to the data from the U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. So, what does this mean? You're going to have to go. I've been talking to one of my coworkers. She was talking about how she deals with a digital bank. Capital One, I guess, has a digital bank, right? And I said, well, how do you deal? I said, sometimes you got to go in, you got to talk to somebody. You got to really deal with somebody when it comes down to your banks. She said, well, they do have I think it's kind of like a little substation within a company, within a business. It's almost like you ever go to the grocery store and they got little banks inside the grocery store, something similar to that, right? But they only have people there to answer your questions. They're not there to do anything. Once you actually get your answers, you get pointed over to a terminal where you do all your transactions back online again. So but how long are they going to have those people there? Long gone are the days, man. How many times every place you call now has got an automated voice system, AI telling you, please talk to me, tell me what you need. And you constantly like, operator, give me customer service, give me somebody talk. Before I transfer you, please tell me what you need. How long before you go into these digital banks and you go in there and you talking to a damn screen telling you everything that you need? Them people that's over there already, there to answer your questions and deal with you one-on-one, they're going to be replaced. Robots going to take over that. AI is going to take over that. So all these people, all these banks is closing down. All them people is all going to be unemployed. They're going to be jumping, the unemployment line just like everybody else. Layoffs that's been going on for the last year and a half. And now the replacements is going to be AI. The replacements is going to be CBDC, so forth and so on. Right? So we can see the writing on the wall. They're getting ready to drastically change how we operate and how we live within the next year and some change. The Pittsburgh-based PNC Bank filed for 19 bank branch closures, 5 in Pennsylvania, 4 in Illinois, 3 in Texas, 2 in Alabama and New Jersey, and 1 each in Indiana, Ohio, and Florida. So if you in any of these states, PNC Bank near you, they're shutting that one down. You're going to have to travel somewhere else to go deal with your banking situation, or you can go online and deal with that. Chase Bank, they filed for 18 closures, 3 in Ohio, 2 in Connecticut and South Carolina, 1 in each of the 11 states, New York, Illinois, Florida, Massachusetts. Citizens Bank in third, they closing 8 branches, Massachusetts, Delaware, New York, Wisconsin, Missouri, Ohio, Illinois. Bank of America, they closing 5, 2 in New York, 1 each in Texas, Massachusetts, and California. Citibank, they're closing 2 branches. Sterling and Bremer, First National Bank, Windsor, Aroostook County. I mean, major banks now are filing. Citibank, Chase, Bank of America, Citizens Bank, they're shutting down multiple branches, right? So what is going on? You know what's going on. They're getting ready to crash every damn thing. The UAE, United Arab Emirates, they're officially stopping using the dollar for oil trades. That also is another plan, how they're going to cripple the dollar. Remember, the petrodollar. America and the Arabs have an agreement or had an agreement that all oil was to be purchased using dollars. That means all the economy, all the world, everybody had to get money in dollars in order to pay for their oil. And that's how that agreement's been working for years on end. That's what made the dollar so strong, because everybody needed it to get their oil for power, for gas, for trade, all that other stuff, right? Now, because the United Arab Emirates are joining the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and that whole movement, they're saying we're going to take we're going to take other forms of currency to purchase our oil. We're backing away from the dollar now. What's that mean for the dollar? The dollar now is going to have less value. The dollar is going to be even in more trouble, because now they're saying the dollar is not as valuable as it was. Man, we'll take gold, we'll take crypto, we'll take whatever. Matter of fact, we're going to utilize this oil trade to help fund and build this BRICS economy, which is going to take away from the westernized banking system that Babylon has set up. So de-dollarizing is on the rise, man. America is in further trouble. And this is beginning 2024. So a month from now, who knows where this is going to lead with the dollar. as banks are collapsing and everything else, man. So, you know, brothers and sisters, man, I said it before. Make sure you got a little mattress money at the house or wherever that you need to, because who knows? At any point in time, they could shut down the bank local to you and tell you you can't have access to your money for 3 days, 4 days, a week, 2 weeks. You know, sorry for the inconvenience. Hopefully, you got something to get you by. Who knows what these damn maniacs are gonna do, man? Stranger things have happened. But they're working on a complete damn near money transfer right under everybody's noses. For those who use Google Drive, they had a glitch, quote unquote, a glitch, where some of your files and some of your information could be gone. Check your Google Drive now. Glitch sees months of personal files vanish from serious accounts. Here's what to do if your data is missing. For those of us who use Google or entrust Google Drive to hold onto your files or hold information for you, if you haven't checked it, check it. If it's missing, if you have any problems, this article, you know, suppose I check mine, I'm okay. But this article apparently gives you a step by step on what you can do if you have any issues. Email me, thecovenant144@gmail. I'll send you the link and you can do your research to figure out how you can recover your information. Thecovenant144@gmail.com if you have issues with the Google Drive snatching up your information from a quote glitch. Shocking moment: woman is robbed by a rifle wielding gang on a busy Chicago street. This is wild. This woman looked like she was just coming from the airport or who knows where. She rolling bags, some jakes pulled out, jumped out on her, laid the rifle on her, robbed her, took off. It's on video. And it says on a busy Chicago street before suspects stick up 3 other people and cops refuse to follow them. Remember, Chicago got that law now where they can't chase suspects anymore. Right? So Chicago going for a complete collapse, man. 20 armed robberies were reported on Sunday alone in Chicago because the inmates are running the asylum. They know that the police ain't going to stop them. They can't chase them. You can't do nothing. They're going to rely on witness testimonies. Hopefully somebody can snitch or somebody can say, I saw the car. Here's the license plate or whatever. How often that's going to happen? Good luck. But this is how they're going to have complete bedlam in the streets, man. And perilous times being increased, because America's going to internally collapse because they're going to wait for the people to beg for them to say we need change. Crime riddled streets, man, robbing, killing, stealing, raping, money being disappeared, plague coming around, getting everybody infected and sick, and they saying, you had enough yet? You had enough yet? All you got to do is come on over. I got the solution. We can lock everything down. We can make everything change. We can give you some medicine to get rid of that, make you impervious to the plague out there. We can control your finances for you. We can secure your identity. Just come on over and be part of the beast system, as they're the ones who create all of the dang issues. Last story. Look at this. This is it. More proof of what I'm talking about. There's a video talking about police departments are running short on officers. See, now they want to play games.
Well, police departments across the United States are running short on officers.
Where? Across what?
Across the United States.
Across the United States. So this is not some city or county or just one state, one small little place in Alabama that's got a town of 100 and the 5 cops quit. No. All across the country, police departments running short on officers, man. Cops is quitting on the spot. New York, man, they taking their pensions early. They running. They saying, man, we're out of here. We're not getting paid enough for this madness. We're done. So what's that mean for you and I? You, me, we're going to have to be responsible for policing our own, securing your own homes. And then you got to deal with the consequences of them saying, oh, because you defended your house, you're now, guilty of shooting a potential thief coming to your house. Just like they did that white man that shot back at some cats that tried to rob him in front of his house. They took his right to conceal carry license from him. You see it all the time, man. Somebody getting hit up, shooting back, and they get charged with murder because they want to be the only ones that can defend you. But I'm gonna let this play, and then we're gonna get out of here.
Across the United States are running short on officers, so that's leaving some neighborhoods looking for other ways to keep their streets safe.
Fox's Bowen Kadervich is in New Orleans with more.
Caroline Rashi. Well, the New Orleans Police Department has 906 officers. Now, that is down over 100 from 2 years ago. Now, some people in New Orleans say that their neighborhoods are relying on private security for additional protection.
We're kind of on our own here.
New Orleans is known for its lively music scene and top-notch restaurants. But the city carries another reputation.
I feel like the crime has gotten pretty out of control. And it's one of the first things that everybody talks about when they're talking about the city.
Peter and Raylan Loop say their neighborhood voted to hire private security to patrol their streets. Raylan says it gives her a little more peace of mind.
Must be nice. You know, Esau can't afford private security. You think you can afford private security in Watts, Compton, Willowbrook, Hawthorne, Inglewood, Bankhead, Atlanta? How about Alabama, Memphis? You think they can afford it in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago, the west side of Chicago? Can they afford it in Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Lower Manhattan, the Lower East Side? Can they afford it over there? Can they afford it over there in the slums of Connecticut and Miami, Liberty Gardens, Liberty City, Miami Gardens? Can they afford it over there in Houston? And come on, Fifth Ward. Esau can afford private security, man, but Jake's gonna be relying upon destroying themselves.
I keep them on speed dial. They're in my favorites, and I tell everyone in the neighborhood to do that as well.
Oh, isn't that
it's very
nice?
dark here with the oaks. I will call them, and they will guide me back. They'll walk me back.
Pinnacle Security has 400 officers and patrols 5 neighborhoods in New Orleans.
We get calls every day for private businesses and for neighborhoods. And we've got at least 2 proposals right now pending for neighborhoods.
The officers are armed but cannot make arrests.
Our primary focus is to be a deterrent. We do that in a number of different ways. By constantly patrolling the area and being as visible as possible.
Chad says private security can help overstressed police departments.
There's not enough police officers to work those off-duty details, so that's where they've now looked to the.
No, they're authorized to shoot but not arrest. Think about that.
Security sector to fill those roles, to bring enhanced security measures to the neighborhood. It could be in the form of patrols. It could be in the form of cameras. It could be in the form of camera monitoring.
Chad says private security does not have any higher authority than a civilian would have, but they can call for police assistance if a crime is being committed. In New Orleans, Bowen Kadervich, Fox 26.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, man. Yeah. Enough said. Enough said. You already know, man. We're in the times approaching. We're not there yet, but if we want to talk about precursors to Jacob's trouble, man, look no further. Crawling down a real rabbit hole out there, y'all, man. Be prepared for anything and everything coming up within the next month, next year, so forth and so on, man, because the white man, he's definitely busy. He's occupied in multiple wars. He's drumming up multiple viruses. He's collapsing economies. He's drawing divisive measures between, the children of Israel, man. And you got our people within the knowledge of Israel, man. I wasn't even going to comment on it because it's just ridiculous. And brothers are already kind of said enough, man. But there's some wild Jake calling himself the King Shepherd. They just got through celebrating Thanksgiving, eating swine and the whole nine. I'm sure all of y'all done seen the video. It was viral. I mean, this is the type of stuff that our people is occupied in, man. Supposedly the woke Israelites, man. All hell breaking loose in the earth, man. They want to stuff their face with bacon and ham, and telling men that it's okay to do so. We're in a lot of trouble, y'all. Your brother's gonna go ahead and get on out of here, man. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High while you have a shot, man. I'm praying that everybody's well on the Shabbat, man. We'll have a closing class in about 2 more hours. Check back in with us if time permits, man. If the spirit is provoking you to do so, man, log in and catch us on the rebound. Messengers of the Covenant closing Shabbat class will be on around 3 o'clock today, Pacific Standard Time, man. Hopefully y'all will join us. Shout out to everybody that participated in the chat, man, that logs in and have been continuously supporting what we do over here, man. So appreciate all of y'all, man. Y'all be well. I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here, man. Shabbat shalom.